Hello, it's Sally here. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me. Welcome to my channel. This is part 2 of my kawandi quilt. In the first episode, you'll have seen me cut out my fabric and select some of my fabrics. I've done the first round all the way round now, and I've connected all of my fabrics to the first row of stitching, and I've attached all of my little flowers, or foulard they're called. So what I've also done is the scarf that I showed you that's going to be my lining, it's doubled over, so you can see there's 2 pieces of my scarf, and I've just gone right up to the edge and then folded it over, tucked it into the corner. Let me pull that over. Tucked it into the corner and just made sure that it is straight so that I can start on my next row of stitching. So I've just pulled it all up and it was all straight. I've done it all the way around. I used my bigger table, the dining table, just so that I could get it all in and straight. I did have to cut a little bit. I had to cut about 1 inch off 2 of the sides because it was slightly too big once I'd stitched everything down. So perhaps my my hem that I did here was probably a little bit more than it should have been, but that's fine, it's no problem at all. So I can now start on my second row, and I've just gone and forgotten my thread. Let me just go and grab my thread. Been working in the other room, and it's only there and I've got to bring it with me. Right, so this is all my fabric. I've had to grab some more fabric because I just about used all of the fabric that I grabbed out when I showed you the other day. I've just about used it all for the outside, so I've had to go and grab some more. This is all just scraps that I've got that are smallish pieces. Perhaps this one here is quite a large piece, but I've got loads of this fabric, so I thought I'd do that. I've got some smaller scraps like that. So I showed you them all last time, and I found a needle. Where did I put my other one? Let's pop that one away. I've already got my needle threaded up. So, although there's not much here, I'm going to start a new piece. Pop that there. So this is just a DMC 40. That I'm just canther stitching all the way around or running stitch all the way around my quilt. So as I say, I've gone all the way around and attached the first row of fabrics to my quilt, and now I'm starting on my I wonder if I could thread my needle. Starting on my next round of stitches, although it won't be my next round of it's not happening. Let's try that again. So I will get a couple of rows in, I think, before I have to add any more fabric. So, oh my days, I can't thread my needle. It's not working. Oh, is that it? That will be fine. Or will it? Yes. It's always the same when you're on camera. Can't thread your needle on demand. Right, so there's longish length. Just pull that down. Right, so this was my first. No, it wasn't my first corner. That's my first corner here, because you start from the top right and go round anti-clockwise. If you're right-handed, if you're left-handed, you'll go top left corner clockwise. So just making sure that my fabric is all tucked under and it's right up to the edge, which it is. You can use pins on this as well, but I think the traditional method is not to use pins. So I'm trying not to use pins, but if I get into a mess, then I may. Okay, so first of all, what I need to do is bury my knot. So I'm going to go into here and up where I want to start my next row of stitching. Now these are all like concentric squares, I suppose you'd call them. So getting smaller as you get into the middle, just squares of stitching. And they're approximately a finger or thumb, I don't know, whichever one, I suppose however you want your stitches spaced apart. I'm going to have mine about half an inch, I think, which is kind of like the, sorry, I'm just just measuring my finger, hang on. I'm using my little finger and it's about half an inch, so I'm going to do mine about half an inch apart. But you could do your thumb, or I don't know really, it's just I don't know whether it is your thumb or whether it's your little finger. I'm not sure, I've read both, that's why I'm unsure as to what it is. So I'm going to do about half an inch, which is my little finger, because I would like a fair amount of stitching on here. So I've just hidden my knot under there, and I can start stitching again. Because these haven't been pinned down, you probably just need to, or I will just need to kind of make sure that they are lying flat when I start stitching. So all I'm going to do is just running stitch again, just like I did before, but I'm not adding any fabric because for the next couple of rounds I won't need to, because all of my fabrics are of a certain length where I can get a few rows of stitching in. And then just where it's going to come up there, just where my fabrics join, just make sure it's straight. And I'm going to make sure that my needle goes directly into it straight away at the very edge, just so it holds down my fabrics. And I'm not drawing my lines, I'm just going to eyeball them and make sure that they're kind of straightish. It doesn't matter if I go off on a little bit of a wonky path, but I'm going to try and keep them fairly straight. You can also draw your lines on with some marker, what's it called, friction pen or pencil. Pencil won't come off though really, so you're probably best with the friction pen if you want lines. And then I'm just going to do this all the way around. The joy of well, I've got two joys. This is giving me two joys at the moment. One is using up all my scraps that kind of just lie around and kind of build up and up and up, and I've got a great big box of scraps. And when I'm starting a new project, I kind of like to do different fabrics so that you can see different fabrics and how, you know, how I work them and everything. And so I get a lot of leftover fabrics, and what do you do with them? So this is kind of giving me joy that I am using up my scrap fabrics. The other joy is that I can just go away now, because I'm not going to show you, this is probably a video of different clips of stages that I'm doing. I think this one's going to be, because you don't want to see me just going round and round doing running stitch. So I will do some stitches, and then when I get to around here and I have to start joining fabrics, then I'm going to come back and show you how I join the fabrics. But at the moment, so the joy for me is that I can just take this away now and just sit and stitch without really thinking too hard. I'm not thinking about, you know, what I've got to, you know, what design I'm working on, because it's just, this is just the design, and it's just taking a fabric, putting it on and stitching it. So they're my two joys, that I'm using up all my scraps into something that I know I'm going to love, because I love the fabrics, most of the fabrics that I'm using, because I've used them before. So, and I've obviously chose them. So yeah, it's giving me joy that way. So when like I say, when I get to the end of a stitch, a piece of fabric as well, I'm going to go right into the end just to make sure that it is tied down, and then I can go on to the next one. So I'm going to leave it there for the moment, and then I will come back when it's time to start joining on more fabrics. Okay, see you in a bit. Right, so I have gone round the quilt about 3 times, I think now. I think I'm on my fourth go round, yeah. And I'm getting to places now where I need to start adding more fabrics onto. So I'll just pop back on again and show you what I'm going to do. So just try and get it straight a little bit. So I'm going to work on this bit here. So this is going to be the first one. So I've just got my scraps here. If I just pull a few out, that's a nice one, nice orangey one. Oh, there's a pink one there, that's quite nice as well. I'm being choosy, I know. I said I was going to just pick them out and go with it, but I do want them all to kind of harmonise a little bit maybe. But right, so I'm going to go for this one anyway. So that's going to go over this one here, or it could go under that one. So what you need to do is you need to decide whether you're going over or under. So I think I'm going to go under this one, but I am going to go over this one because it's quite a short piece, and there's not that much to tuck under to get. I could do it, but I think I'm going to go over these ones here. So I've got my edge. Just going to fold it over like that, and tuck that piece under there. And over like that, and then just carry on stitching. So as long as it's in your line of stitch, as in when I go across, that's where it's going to be. I'm just going to lower it down a tiny bit. Just think it needs to be a little bit lower. So no, that's still not right. Hang on, let me just get that right. Going to be somewhere there. So it's still not quite right. So I'm going to go there. I'm just going to, it's probably my stitching is probably a little bit wonky just to get, I don't know what happened. I can't quite get it right. I don't know what's going on. Oh dear. I think my stitching on this line isn't quite straight, and that's what I was trying to line it up with that. So, and you just carry on. It's a bit stiff fabric, that one is. Plus I've got to remember that I'm going through quite a few fabrics when I'm doing this. So I've got 1, I've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going through 6 layers of fabrics because that's doubled over. So that's right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so I'm going through quite a few layers of fabric, even though it doesn't feel that thick. Although where I have stitched it, the texture's feeling lovely. It's feeling really, really nice and tactile, and I would say it's not like you know, puffy quilty or anything like that, but it has got a lovely I don't know what it's called, a feel to it. So I'm sure once it's all done it will really feel good. Although it's only going to be a thin quilt, I'm going down there, so that's catching the pink one, it's catching that green one, and it's also catching the ticking as well. And then I'm going to go over the ticking, but I will have to start thinking about how I'm going to attach the next one. Is it going to go over or is it going to go under? Well, it's definitely going to go over my ticking, but is it going to go over or under this one? So I'm just going to see what kind of pieces I've got, and I'm just going to stop there just in case I need to fold that under and see what I've got. I've just spied this one. I love this fabric here. I've got 2 of these. They're both the same fabric, but one has got more flowers than the other one. So I think I'm going to go for that one. I like that very much. And shall I go? I'm going to go over it. So it's actually got a little bit of a snip there, so I'm going to have to make sure that when I fold it over, I allow for that, but that's okay. There's quite a lot of fabric here. So I'm just going to finger press it over and then over there. I will lose that stripe there, but it's just one of those things. Okay, so I could do it like that. I could go a tiny bit up, but I do want to stay. I need to stay within this line. I've just had a thought. I need to stay within this line. So I'm going to carry on here and go across. So again, go up there, and then I'm going right into that corner to make sure I catch my fabric. And then just carry on my merrily way until I reach the next one. This is a curtain fabric, and it is a little bit thicker than some fabrics, you know, your quilting fabrics. So although it'll give a nice texture once it's done. Again, I'm just going to make sure that all 3 fabrics that meet are caught. Okay, I'm getting to the edge again, so I'm just going to move it over a little bit and see what I'm going to do next. Just trying to keep it all flat. Okay, so I still like that. That's nice. That's going to look nice there. I'm going to go with orange there. Now what I could do is I could fold that over, carry on, and then this, in fact that's what I'm going to do, I think, just so that it's not all on one line and it is all, I want it to be higgledy-piggledy. I don't want it all to be straight lines, you know, carrying on like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, although I like that there and I will put that there, I think, I'm going to fold that over. Oh, I've got to put, no, I haven't got to put something under it yet. So right, I'm just doing this out as I'm going along. This is the first time I've made one of these, so I'm obviously learning on the job. So we go over there and then carry on. That's right. And then once I get to this bit, then I can still, if I want to, well, I've already made my choice that I'm going to go under because I've took this over. So I am going to go under there, but I don't want to do it yet. I'll do it on the next round. And then carry on my merrily way. And then I think that's probably it for a while, because I'm not going to add any on yet, because I can do another round here and then I will be adding on. So I'll be back to show you some more in a little while. Right, so I've done a little bit more to my quilt. I've gone around the edges quite a few times now. It seems like loads and loads of times, but I've only done about 4 inches maybe into the thing. But the more you do, I suppose, the less time it takes, because the squares going round are getting smaller and smaller as you're going into the centre. So it does seem as though I am going round a lot faster. Although it's not a fast project, this isn't. It's just me taking my time, just adding all my fabrics and everything, and it's creating a lovely tactile quilt. So I just wanted to pop on because just to show you my progress, and just to make a couple of observations really. It's quite easy going on the straights, and the corners get a little bit complicated, as you can see, because you've got fabric from kind of this way and this way kind of merging together. So it does get a little bit complicated when you get onto the corners, just to coordinate, I suppose, all of, sorry, I'm just getting rid of all my little threads that are hanging around. Yeah, so I thought I would just come on and show you how I'm tackling them and how I'm getting on. The other thing is, I did lay it out all flat, just to see if the lining, it's not lining, is it? I don't know what the insides are laying flat. They are laying quite flat, although they're kind of, can you see this? It's kind of like a little bit loose. As I'm going around, but I think that will tighten up as I go on, and because it's so thin anyway, even if it does all kind of gather in the middle when I've finished, because it's so thin, I really don't think it's going to make that much of a difference to how, you know, once I've sewed it all down. So I'll see how I'll go with that anyway, but it seems everything seems to be going all right at the moment. And like I say, just the corners are, you just have to think about them really, and don't underestimate how much thread, how much thread and how much fabric this takes, because I've had to go back into my scrap box a couple of times just to get some more variety in there. So you can probably see fabrics that I didn't show you before because I hadn't got them before. Sorry, I hadn't got them before, but that's my pile of scraps at the moment. Whether I need to go back and get some more, I don't know, but that's what I'm working with at the moment. Got some there that I cut up. They're too small now, so they're going to go into my smaller scraps box over there for different projects. But these are my larger scraps, so that I'm doing for this. They seem to be this kind of size seems okay. I have put a couple of larger bits on. That's quite a largish bit, but I quite like the pattern on that one. Love the I did this corner here with the rose fabric. That's turning out really nice. And I think I've done another this one here. I love this fabric. I didn't really rate this fabric before. I've not used it in a project. I keep pulling it out every so often. It's kind of like a washy watercolour-y. There's quite vibrant colours, and so that's working really well. So I haven't gone in. I'm using scraps that have already been cut up, and I haven't cut anything off any bigger pieces of fabric yet. But I do like that. So if I need to, I might go and just pinch a little bit more of that. That was just an off cut, but I have got a bigger piece of that. I do like that, and I think there's two of those. I don't know whether I used the other one yet. There's one there, and did I use the other one yet or not? Oh, that was another largest piece I got, but that was like what's it called? Sanderson. I thought that would be nice. But I've got I've got a largish piece here as well. But I didn't really want to cut that one up. I quite like that one as it is. I think a few largish pieces. Get my words out. Largish pieces will be okay. I've probably not. I know oh, there it is. Look, I've got another one there of that fabric. So I thought that one could go on somewhere. So anyway, rambling. I'm looking for something to fill in this. Now you've got to remember what pieces go over, which pieces go under. So at the moment that one's going over everything, and that one's going over this piece here, and it was going over that piece there. But I don't have to. It doesn't have something doesn't have to go under it. It could go over. I'm just going to see what I've got. I'm just having a look at that actually. It's probably taking up. It's going to be taking up quite a chunk of that if I use this. So it's got to go over there. But then once you start folding down the corners, it's not going to be that bad actually. That's probably about right. I'm going to use that. So that's going to be my next one. So let me just get my needle out, because I think I'm actually at that position where I need to. Oh look, I've gone and knotted all my thread up. Right, so oh yeah, because I'm here, so I kind of need to think about what I might have to undo actually, because I think because I'm running along that line, that's going to go up there, and then this is where I finish. This is one of my finishing. This one's my finishing corner. I always remember because the square is the same as the little flower, the foulard. So that reminds me that that's the corner where I finish my square and I start a new one. So that's that one. So let me just have a look how I'm going to pop this one on. So it's got to go over this bit here, which in turn will make it go over that one, but I'm not bothered, it doesn't matter. So I'll need to do that there to make that's got to go under a little bit. So I need really, my frame here, let me just move over a little bit there. It's got to go, is that right? It doesn't have to go that far. Have I got it the right way around? Was it that way? I think I've got the wrong way around. So that, just run my fingernail over it and then it will stay a little bit better. If I do that, press it down. Yeah, I got it the wrong way around. So I do need to, because I want it to go here, I need to just undo some of my stitches. I've gone a bit too far. I'm just going to unthread my needle a minute and just take it back. I'm still using a very long thread, but because you're doing a running stitch, you kind of threading your needle every 5 minutes if you don't. What have I done there? There we go. Right. So I'm trying to be careful not to knot it. So I'm just going to rethread my needle if I can. It's plain today. Right. I'm just going to swizzle this round a little bit. Move that out of the way. Okay. So, I'm going to start here. I'll worry about the rest in a moment. So I found it's easier to go down and then immediately back up. And that joins everything together. Just found it easier for me to do it that way. Oh, spoke too soon. There we go. So let's just go along there a little bit. Right, so I'm just going to go down there, just make sure that that fabric's caught, and then we'll have a look at just sorting this little bit out here, because that's going under there. A little bit wonky, but hey ho, doesn't really matter. And I'm just going to hold that down and bring my needle. Let's go. Make sure it's all straight. Yep. Then up right on that corner, just so I catch all the fabric. Okay, and then like I said, this is a finishing, this is one of the squares that gets, this is the corner that all my squares finish at. My squares of stitching. So that means that I need to join it to this one here. And it just goes along this line. Ouch. Like that. And then I need to start a new square. So if I just go in here, I go back in there and just feel where my needle is coming up, and then come out again just where I think the start of my next square of stitching needs to start, somewhere around there. have to remember this line here has got to be stitched. So what I should have done is made it a little bit wider, which would have made it easier for me. Or it can go on the next row. I think it's going to go on the next row. It will be the easiest thing. So that will be my next, when I come round again, that will pop under. So what I've got is, I'll probably pop it under a little bit more there. So I've got a row of stitching here. This is going to be my next row, and I'm going to go all the way around the quilt. And then when I come back and finish this one off, this will be where my next one starts. What I have been doing on some is just pin it, because of it all coming undone by the time I get back round again. So I have got my pins handy, and I've just, on a couple of places, mainly I think in the corners, I've just popped a pin in so that I know that that's where my next row of stitching is going to be. And it holds my fabric down. That there I'm not too worried about, because I can sort that out at a later round of stitching. So then I'm just going to go round and carry on. All the way around then. Okay, then just back up on that one. And then I can carry on. I think I will stop filming there, because I've got a row now where I can carry on for quite a long time actually. That one is a bit close to the edge. I may actually put something on there. I tell you what, yeah, I will. Let me just carry on for a little bit then. Some of these fabrics are curtain fabrics and upholstery fabrics, and I shouldn't really have used them because they are quite thick, and it is quite heavy going on your hands when you're doing so much, because there's so much stitching on this. It's quite heavy going. So I think if I did another one, I may not use furnishing fabrics and curtain fabrics so much, but I just wanted to get them used up really, because I'd got them, they've been hanging around for a long time. So I mean, I won't have as many next time because I've used them all on this one. But if I was going to make another one, I would use the thinner cottons and quilting fabrics instead. It's just a little bit easier on your hands. Okay, so I'm nearing this one here, which I can see needs something, so I'm just going to stop there. Okay, so my fabrics, so we get and have a look what I've got. So just have to try and find one that kind of fits the space. That one would. I quite like it, and I kind of do look around and just see, does it go with all of the other ones? And it does. I've got that piece on the end there, but what I will do is I'll use that as the fold over, and I will probably fold it over there and there and there. And then, right, it's just, this seems to have kind of spread itself out a little bit, which doesn't matter. Let me just have a quick look again. Was it? I can't remember which way it was. It was that way, wasn't it? Yeah. That just about fits, to be honest. So I'm going to use that and carry on for a moment. Just going to straighten it up because I can see it's just gone off kilter a little bit. You can see how I'm just struggling because I've got that's a curtain fabric and this is a curtain fabric, so when you've got two on top of each other there's quite a lot of fabric there. Especially when you get to the folded corners. Okay, maybe I can tuck that under and then that's going to go down there. I do actually have, I always forget to use it, I have got some beeswax. I don't know whether you've seen these before. You can tell how often I use it. It's really dusty, and it's supposed to just, I mean, I do use it quite often, but I haven't used it for a while. If you just kind of waxes your thread, and it should make it easier to get through, but I always forget to use it. I go through bouts of using it and then kind of forget, but and it's supposed to make your thread go through a little bit easier without knotting up. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. That's why I don't always use it, because then I think, well, does it work, doesn't it work? I don't know. So we've got another piece here. Grab the fabrics, have a quick look. I like that one. That one's quite nice. And then I will need, so I'll do that one there. And then I will need something here as well. What's a jazzy one? Not sure. I'll take that one off because that's a silky one and it doesn't sew very well. So I'm not having that one. That's quite nice actually. I like that. Right, let's try those. So we'll start with this one. So I'm going to go across there. This is a poly cotton, so it doesn't crease quite as well as a cotton. So I'm going to start there. Yeah. And then down. On a moment. It's an ink pad. I don't want to get ink all over it. There's quite a lot of wastage. If I'm going to actually snip this one because there's quite a lot of wastage there, so I'm going to, am I or am I not actually? I'm just thinking of where my lines will be. So I'll have, that'll be one line, and then my next line. Yeah, I think I can get away with that. So I'm not going to go all the way over here. I'm going to take some of that off. I can go into my scraps. And then I can go over that. So let me just carry on for a teensy bit longer. And then which one was it? It was this green. This green one's probably not big enough now. Nope, it's not big enough. Now I've cut it. Let's have a look for something else. Nope. I'm going to use this one here. So it'll need cutting. So it's going to be folded over. And I'm going to go over this one. Oh, hang on, what did I say I was going to do? Did I say? Oh, I can't remember what I said I was going to do. Right, I'm going to go with this one. I think I went with this one, didn't I? I can't remember what I said now. Okay, let me just shuffle a little bit. So I'm just going to carry on. Again, it's two furnishing fabrics on top of each other, which is quite tough. It is when you're sewing by hand anyway. Going on, there we go. Oh, it's a lovely little butterfly fluttering outside the window. I think it's a cabbage white. I saw, I looked at this morning, I woke up and it was drizzly, and in fact it has been just about all day, a real autumn morning. And then this afternoon it's brightened up, the sun's shining. I've dressed for autumn in a sweatshirty jumpery thing, and I'm warm now because the sun's out and it's beautiful. And there was 3 cabbage whites all fluttering around, and how they dance around in circles with each other in the garden earlier on. It was lovely. Okay, so I'm aware that I'm getting close to another one, and I just need to sort out what's going on here. Now this one I've already tucked under, so that will be my tuck under, the one that's going to go over. And you can see that I have pinned some of these because this one was quite small, it was kind of coming undone, and I just wanted to make sure that I remembered how it was all going to lie. So this one here and this one, this piece is going to go under the brown one. So I'm just going to cut it off. That's going to go under there, like so. There's quite a heft of fabric at that junction. We'll see how I get on. Lost my needle. Right. As I say, the corners are the trickiest parts when you're having to kind of think about the fabrics, how they're going to lie, not just this way, but then you've got to go that way as well. I'm going to it's just a bit too much fabric there for me to go through all at once. Right. It's getting a little bit easier now. Sorry, I'm pulling it towards myself and it is slipping off the table as well. So what I did here was made it so that I can go along here now. Let me just take this out on my next row. I just need to tuck that in if I can. Like that. Okay, that's that bit, and then we're just going to carry on now from there, and I've got to run all the way along to the next end. Now I can go all the way across there before I have to think about adding any more, so I'm going to leave it there for now, and I'll show you a little bit more of what I've done, and I'll come back when I've done a little bit more. Okay, see you in a bit. Hello, I'm back. Right, so I have just about finished it, the quilt now. I'm getting to the stage where everything's come together and it's starting to overlap a little bit, and I just thought I'd pop on before I do my last few rounds and finish it off. It's really exciting because there's nothing else apart from this bit. There's nothing else to do. I've done, you know, the edges are already done. We did that at the start. So it's just this little bit left that I've got to do. So I just thought I'd come on and just show you how I'm going to get everything together. As you can see, it's not as much as I thought it would be actually. It's just a tiny little bit, and because it's so thin, it doesn't really matter. It's going to just be part of the wadding inside. So it's not going to. There's no bulk to it at all. So I'm quite pleased with how it's just come together. I'm just trying to straighten some of these. Some of them are a bit wonky, but I don't think it really matters. I've gone a bit wonky on some of them throughout. So I think I'm about, oh no, I'm not in here. On this orange one, I had to unpick it a little bit because I think I probably need to do something here. So I didn't, if I'm going to go underneath, I need just a little bit of space, which I think I'm probably going to go under. And this one here has also gone a little bit wonky. I don't know whether I can smooth that out or not. I was thinking of having that like that. And then I've got, this is my last, right, so this is my row that I'm going along now. So this isn't quite straight. If I straighten this up, this turn here, that's probably better. Like that. And then that can probably be a little bit bigger of a tuck. So that I can go up there. That will all get tucked under. So that's okay. And then I need something here. And I need to sort out this little bit as well, whether what's going under, what's going over. So I'm going to start here first of all. Now I haven't got that many scraps left. This is my scrap. I did go back to get a couple of pieces because I just wanted some more colour, and I'm kind of running out of colour. It's all this kind of canvasy stripe, and there's that as well, but it's quite hard to sew through. I have used it, but I would not, if I was doing another one, I wouldn't use this. This is like a thicker, it's like a curtain material, and I think all of these ones are canvasy type, but a bit too hard on your hands, to be honest. I'm going to go yellow, I think, although there's a yellow there, it's not actually touching, and I think that'll go nice with what else is around. So I'm going to use this piece. This is quite a large piece, I suppose, but it's here. It is an offcut. I'm just going to get my scissors. So it's going to, I won't need all of it. I'm just going to square it off to start with, just so I can see what I've got to play with. So that's my needle just there. Let's leave that there. And I'm going to just right, because that's all that I need. I'm just going to have a look at this bit first of all. It's just because it's all coming together, I don't want to just got to remember where my lines of stitching are, and I want the seams to fall into a line of stitching. So if I did that, that's okay. That went underneath. There's not that much on this one, so that's right. This is the problem, because I'm right. Let me just fold that one down first, then that one's going to have to go. Yeah, I think that would work. Right, I am going to use pins just to make my life a little bit easier, so that I can see where my lines of stitching are, and everything's flat down. So I'm going to pop a couple of pins in. There's actually a pin in here as well that I've already put in, just so that I can see how it looks flat. Okay, so right, that's all okay. So it is just this little bit now, and I think apart, right, so it's going to go under that, and then I think it's going over everything else. So that can be a raw edge because that's going to go under, but everything else has got to be a tuck under. So I'm just going to make sure I've got enough to tuck under. Right, so I'm going to just cut it here. Pop that there. So I think that's the right width. So if I fold this one over here to start with, and tuck it under here. I'm just trying to see, I'm sure it's not supposed to be this complicated, but right, so that's my line of stitching, and then I'm going to come over here, and then I don't know whether I'll get 2 lines in there or 3. Right, okay, so that's going to go there, then that it's going to be something like that when it's done. Okay, so let's pop that under there. So that's all fine and dandy. I'm just going to pin that just so that I can make sure everything's straight. And then it's just this one here. Oh, they've got loads of room there. In fact, I might follow that line just so that yep. Something like that. I can always change it a little bit, but it's going to fall like that. So just make sure it's all flattened out and everything. So that's going to be my finished quilt when the finished colours when I've finished quilting it. So I'm going to carry on stitching around, and I will come back when I've finished, because all I'm going to do is just stitch all the way around now. I think, am I at a corner? I'm at a corner. Oops, I'm at a corner where that's my corner that I know where I've got to finish off a row, and I think I've probably made a mistake because I haven't finished off that row here. I've done that twice now where I've gone round in a spiral. I've gone and forgotten about it, so that needs going up there, and then that's the end of this row, if that makes sense. It probably doesn't, but I think I know what I'm talking. I think I know what I mean. I know what I mean. But so yeah, I'll go up and then I'll start a new one. Anyway, I'm waffling, so I'm going to pop off. I'm going to finish this, and I will be back in a second. Well, not second, but an hour or two, and then I will show you the finished quilt. Okay. Right, so I'm back and it is all finished. So I know you can't see everything here. In fact, I could probably pop you up a little bit, but I don't think you're going to be able to see all of it. Sorry about shaking the camera. But what I'll do is I'm going to pop some pictures on at the end of where it's going to reside. So that's I'm really happy with it. It all came together in the end. Needn't have worried about that little the insides puckering up or anything, because they were so thin that it didn't really matter. And it's great that once you get to the middle, then it's all done. You don't have to do anything else to it. So I'm really happy with it. Definitely would not do, if I do it again, I will not do the canvas. It was really hard going on my hands at stages where they joined and everything, but it was a pleasure to stitch the thin cottons. I'd love to do another one when I've got time. What I'd like to do is just prep a large one, and then when I get offcuts, then I can just stitch them on as I'm going. So like a really long project that would take probably a year or so to complete would be great, I think. So that would probably be something that I would do next time, and just when I got an offcut, just pop it onto the quilt, sew it on, and then it's just, you know, just evolve. So that's what I'd like to do next, but not for a while, because I've got a new project. Well, we've got the Roxy's project to do. We've got the new prompt on that, so I've got ideas on that one. And then I'm also starting on another quilt, the one that Corinne from To Be Loved Treasures by Corinne is doing. It's a 12-month project, and I'm going to sew along with that one as well. So that'll be my next project as well, is the quilt. I've done my gatherings of fabrics, and I kind of think I know what I'm doing on both sides, so that's exciting. So I'm going to leave this here. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you again soon, and I will pop some photos in at the end of this video just to show you where it's going to go on one of the armchairs that we've got. So that's it for now. So I'll see you again soon. So take care. Bye bye.